I've been with 2 independent real estate companies as an agent, and I've also owned an independent myself. So in this video, I'm gonna break down what are the biggest differences between independent real estate brokerages and eXp. Hi, I'm Mikesh, and I share proven strategies and techniques that I use to grow and scale my real estate business. Let's dive in. So the biggest 3 differences that I see between an independent and eXp come down to the following. Number 1, career path. When I was at an independent, and even when I ran my own independent, the agents that were there were really just there to sell homes. And there's nothing wrong with that. That was a good value transition for me as an agent. I was at an independent. They provided leads and opportunities and coaching and support. And I was there for those reasons, and it was good. But really the only facet that I had at that company, the only role that I could take on was that of selling real estate. Conversely, at eXp, when you come into eXp, you can sell homes just like you can at any independent, but there's other opportunities for growth. And a lot of times people say, well, I understand like at eXp you use recruiting, but I don't want to be a recruiter. To which I say, fine, you don't have to be. But wouldn't it be nice to be in an opportunity where you had all the same ability to sell homes like you did at an independent, but if that neighbor or that friend asks you, hey, how's it going over there? And you could share with them the model and, hey, yeah, you can join eXp too, and you can name me as your sponsor. And here's why, because I love eXp. It offers this, that, and the other things, some of the things we're gonna talk about here on this video, but you don't have to be a recruiter to recommend the place you work. And at my independent, I had recommended many people to where I worked. In fact, one of my best friends got a start in real estate at the same place that I was because I recommended it to him. I said, hey, this is a great place. I'm having good results. And he joined. Now, interestingly enough, I didn't make any money when he joined. And that wasn't my motivation, as I'm sure it's not your motivation either. But isn't it cool that eXp rewards us for helping to build the company through referrals and recommendations? And I think that's a valid point to keep in mind, that when it comes to your career path, if you're going the independent route as an agent, it's limited. You can sell homes. Well, you can sell homes at eXp too, but there's other options for growth. And as a broker owner of an independent, you're providing an opportunity that's very limited in career path trajectory. Meaning, as an independent, I had some agents that were amazing and they sold homes like nobody's business. And eventually they got to a point where they wanted to do more. They wanted to go to that next level in their career. And as an independent, the only options I had was to give them more split, which would reduce the business model I was running and make it ineffective or maybe even not profitable, or I would have to expand with more offices, more locations, all of which was something that me and my wife really weren't interested in doing. It was a lot of overhead, a lot of risk to then go do that with somebody else. So we didn't have somewhere to go. Whereas at eXp, if you have an agent in your organization that's selling homes, you can provide value, great. But if and when they're ready to grow or go beyond you, you can still be a part of that success journey with them, and they can continue to grow at eXp, even have their own team or own location of their own, and you can still benefit from that and still participate and continue to provide value to that agent for the rest of their career. So that's number 1. The second thing that I want to highlight is training. When I ran my independent, I was really passionate about providing my agents with tools and resources and training. And I was able to really help them. And I took a lot of pride and ownership in that. The challenge was I was only one person. So I remember when my team got to a point where I had about 10 agents, I felt like I couldn't grow anymore. I didn't have any more time. That in order for me to add more agents, it was also adding more time on my plate that I didn't have. So everything that I wanted for them was good, and everything and motive that I had to train them and teach them was a good. But as one person, I was limited on what I could do. So what was the next step on that? Well, I would hire coaching organizations and I would provide more value. And no matter what I tried to do on my own, looking back, it was still very limited in comparison to what eXp offers. Because eXp is one brokerage, they have endless amounts of training. Over 80 hours of live training every single week are available for agents that want to further their career, go deeper into the listing side of their business or the prospecting or the buyer agency side. And they could get access to this training on demand. And what I realized is I could still provide all of the great training that I was providing as an independent broker owner, But in the eXp model, I could supplement all of my training with endless training that they could get on demand. And what's interesting about the training at eXp, and I think what makes it unique, is that at eXp, the training is done by Icon agents. So Icon Agent is a program that they have at eXp where the top agents, the agents that are selling the most amount of properties in any given market, are rewarded for the production that they're doing and incentivized to earn this Icon designation. And part of that designation involves providing back to the community that they sell in, which is doing training for other agents. And I think it's really special. And when agents come into eXp, they're amazed at how much collaboration actually takes place, where top agents from top markets around the country are sharing their listing presentation and exactly what they're doing to grow and scale their business. And all of that is available for free. Looking back and really knowing that when I ran an independent and I ran it at a very high level, as much as I tried to do pales in comparison to the training and tools and resources that eXp provides their agents on a weekly basis. So training is number 2. And number 3, really for me, when I thought about what's the one other thing that I want to share in this video that really separates eXp from, say, an independent brokerage, and that comes down to innovation. At my independent, I was doing everything I could. I was traveling to events. I was working with multiple different coaching organizations, all with the hopes of trying to stay cutting edge and innovative for the agents that work for me so that I could provide the best value to them and the clients that we served in the marketplace. The challenge with that is how much innovation could I actually bring as one person in one market doing everything I could? Where conversely at eXp, we have thousands of employees. We have a CEO that's dedicated to innovation. We have one of the most innovative and cutting edge platforms in the real estate industry. We're going through massive growth, and there's just tools and resources that we couldn't provide, primarily through affiliate relationships. So imagine like I'm an independent and I'm running one of the most successful independents in my market. Great, kudos for me. But like when you bring that value to, say, a supplier of website technology or a provider of signage or whatever materials, resources, or tools that we need in real estate, it's still very small in comparison at a national level. So my buying power, my ability to get innovative products and technologies to my team was very costly. And it was very difficult for me to be able to do that at scale. Whereas at eXp, we have tens of thousands of agents across the company. We're one brokerage and we're able to organize and obtain deals from these providers that simply I could never provide. We're offering technology and websites to our agents. The same technology and websites that you could go out and get as an independent agent, you're just gonna pay hundreds of dollars a month more for the same technology that we offer at eXp to all of our agents. So when I think about innovation and how important innovation is, especially in a market shift like we're going right now, we have to stay out in front of the cutting edge. We have to be able to provide the best tools and resources to meet our clients' needs in this marketplace. I just see eXp as a bar none better solution than any independent could compete with. So for that reason, innovation is number 3. Now in closing, I want to say this. I do believe in the independent brand, and I do believe the independent brand is going to survive, but I question whether or not it's going to thrive. As the market becomes more competitive and there's more and more challenges placed upon us as agents and brokers, I think that the independent brand is going to find it more and more difficult to maintain that margin in order to do what they're doing. And as companies like eXp come in with innovative business models and sharing and collaboration at a whole new level, I think that the agents are going to find that that's the clear place where they're going to be able to win. And, I think about my journey and what I've done, and, it was awesome. And I really appreciated the time and the independent that we built. It was like my baby. And when I look at other independents that are successful, I typically find a commonality among all of them. And that is that there's a dynamic leader at the helm, at the position of leadership at that company. And when you think about that and you think about how dependent we are in our independent worlds on that leader, and you realize, hey, eventually that leader is going to get tired. Eventually they're going to want to retire. Eventually, they're just not going to be able to operate at the pace they're operating at. It starts to make sense why it is that many independent brands, they have a spike. So they'll see a success curve and they'll be doing really, really well. And then they spike or they plateau. And then each year they become less and less relevant in their marketplace. And I think that's because of the dynamic leader complex, which is that you're only going to stay relevant for as long as you're putting in that dynamic leader effort. And there's eventually going to come a time where you can't keep that up. Whereas at eXp, we have many dynamic leaders. We have a whole board and we have constant innovation happening. And in this video, I didn't even scratch the surface on agent equity programs where we get stock ownership or stock awards, and how that can also build to a compelling retirement as you're going about your sales business. So in future videos, I'll talk specifically about the stock awards and how you can get free stock for doing what you're already doing as a real estate agent at eXp. But for now, I just wanted to share those 3 points with you that I think are the biggest points when you analyze what's the difference between being with an independent or being with eXp. If you found this video helpful, please go ahead and like and subscribe below. That way you'll get notified when there's more great content that we're putting out. And if you're an independent right now, when you're considering like what are those options with eXp, I would be more than happy to do a side-by-side numbers comparison to show you what that would look like. Feel free to grab a strategy session with me using the link below in the description. And hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.